Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be going over the next dates for the community day, but we're going to be focusing on one particular Pokemon that we are expecting to see and kind of going into a little bit of a speculation as to what you should do with the candies for this community day. That's going to be Eevee. We'll get into all that information here. So with that said, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Have some more news coming at you, as you can tell here. So let's go ahead and just hop right into this without wasting any more time. So We've got the official thing, but this is going to be from Pogo Central, as you can see here. So Saturday, we got June 21st. Then we have Saturday and Sunday. That's going to be July 5th and 6th. So that's going to be a classic community day. That's going to be the Eevee one that we are anticipating, because the Eevee classic or the Eevee community days usually last for 2 days. Okay, and then we have Sunday, June 20th. And then, July 20th, and then Saturday, August 30th. Okay, so people are expecting Rowlet to come back as well, and a few others. So we have Jangmo 02 that we have to look forward to, as we've seen its signature move being added into the game. So don't go too crazy on any sort of Jangmo raids if you're looking for a shiny. I'm telling you, it's going to be useless, just like they do with the Timber, with the Dino, and then they released the community day. And then I love to see the comments of people, oh my gosh, I just raided for this so hard and now it's a very common shiny. It's like, duh, what did you expect to happen? All right, anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the Eevee Community Day. But first, we're going to go ahead and hop into the names here, and then we're going to get into some speculation, all right? Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. All the names and how to get every single Eevee. Okie dokie. All right, so for the three original ones, we have Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon. You can just evolve an Eevee and get one of those at random, okay? Now, if you want to have one particularly, now this is only going to work one time. I think there was a refresher date where they allowed the people who did it to actually do it again. But I don't really remember those dates. It's been so long. So say you haven't done any of this, right? You haven't done the name trick for anything. For Vaporeon, you name it Rainer, okay? For Jolteon, you name it Sparky. All right, again, these are only going to work one time, so make sure you do it and do it right, okay? Unless they actually allow us to do it again. For Flareon, you're going to name it Pyro, all right? I'm going to have everything on the screen here. For Sylveon, you're going to name it Kira, all right? And for Espeon, you're going to name it Sakura, right? Now, for Espeon and Umbreon, there's a different trick here. For Umbreon, you're going to name it Tomeo, right? Now, for Sylveon, this is a little bit of a different thing. Now, you can walk some kilometers and then you can evolve it. I forget, there's a particular number. I'll put up the number that you need for Sylveon that you don't need the name trick, because you can just walk a particular amount of kilometers and then you'll be able to evolve that there. All right, while Eevee is your buddy, complete an evolution task, earn 70 hearts with your buddy. There you go. That's the one. All right, my bad. All right, and now for Espeon, you're just going to get 10 kilometers. You're going to walk with Eevee with 10 kilometers, and then you are going to evolve it during the daytime. For Umbreon, you're going to walk 10 kilometers and then evolve it during the night. The nighttime is whenever the game turns dark in your game, all right? And so say in Alaska, in the summertime, I don't think it really gets dark in the game because it doesn't get actually dark here, but there are particular times where it just works, okay? So there's that, all right. Moving it on, Leafeon, you're going to name it Leah. Or Lena. All right. And let's see, evolve Eevee, or this one will take a Mossy Lure. So just be next to a Mossy Lure module, and then you'll be able to evolve your Eevee into Leafeon without having to use your name trick, okay? And then for Glaceon, you're going to name it Ray. Now, this one is going to require a Glacial Lure module. So you just be next to that, and you'll be able to evolve it. So that's the tricks for all of those, okay? You can do as many. I think the most difficult ones to actually obtain after you've done the name trick are going to be, for your particular evolution, are going to be Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon, okay? Now, are any of these useful? Well, you have two useful ones. I think the most useful one out of all the Eevee evolutions is going to be Sylveon as a pure fairy type attacker. That's actually a pretty decent one, okay? As far as PvP is concerned, Nothing really particularly stands out except for one. You already know what it is. It's Umbreon. Umbreon's good. You don't necessarily need to have that an XL for Ultra League. It can perform pretty well there, but it's not going to be some sort of crazy thing that's going to change your game. I mean, it could be. It can be. It's all right. It's all right. But it's going to be usually mostly in the Great League, where you're not going to have to worry about XL candies whatsoever. Now, personally, I have ran through into the Master League, Open Master League, Ingo Battle League with a 100% level 51 Community Day move, Superpower, Flareon, and I have destroyed things. Now that's a super challenge, right? That's not something you're going to throw in a Flareon completely powered up and destroy the Master League. That was an absolute challenge. Aside from that, there's nothing really crazy that you're going to really need, unfortunately. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and throw this video up. Let's go ahead and take a look at my EVs to see what I have saved up here. I do collect quite a bit of EVs, and I do have a lot of evolutions. Some of these go back for years, right? And there are different specific moves. Now, all of them can learn Last Resort, but then there was another community day where they all learned a particular move themselves. So I don't know if Niantic, if they're going to go day one, everything's going to learn Last Resort if you find an Eevee with Last Resort. And then day two is going to be they'll learn their other move that they can potentially have. It's not signature. It's things like what do you got? Just a superpower on Flareon and then Zap Cannon on Jolteon. It's like really useless. Now let's get into the speculation. This has not been confirmed, and I have this one already walked, so that's why it's ready to go for Sylveon. So you can see 25 kilometers ready to go. If I equip it as my buddy, it's going to turn into a wannabe, or not a wanna. It's going to want to turn into Espeon if I have it as my buddy. So that's how all that works. Just unequip it if you have too many kilometers. We might be getting another Eevee evolution, not for this community day, but in the future. I mean, you have a steel potential, a bug potential, a flying potential, a dragon. I mean, a rock, a poison. Could you imagine? I think that they might do this, okay? So my advice to you is take this opportunity to not make as many damn evolutions as you possibly can to take up more bag space and waste your time and having to spend more money on Pokemon bag space, but more so collect as many candies and or good IV EVs as possible, 100% or whatever, 98s, or even PvP IVs, lower attack, higher defense, and stamina style stuff, right? For the potential of maybe getting a new Eevee evolution in the future. Again, I'm not putting any sort of timestamp on when we're going to get one, or there has been no leaks. All right, there has been no leaks. I want to 100% make sure that this is completely clear with all of you. But there is that opportunity, right? Could you imagine a poison or dragon or a steel Eevee? That would be freaking amazing. That would be so cool. And if we did get that, we would obviously have an event revolving around Eevee. But, you know, it's good to stack up those candies now so you're prepared. Maybe this thing might be the next best type for attacker for that particular type. Maybe it might be a really good poison type. Maybe it might be a good steel type or a flying type. So just keep that in the back of your mind so you're ready to go. And always just on your toes and have all the candies at will for whenever we have some sort of great Eevee evolution revolt. Okay, I'm just being silly, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Expect Komo-o. Yeah, that's going to be coming soon too. That's going to be pretty exciting, and it's actually going to be a pretty decent freaking Pokemon. I have the basic stage completely maxed out, 100% IV, best buddied. I'm not going to evolve it. I'm just going to keep it at Jangmo, and then we'll evolve it into that Komo-o eventually once we get that community day. But yeah, I do have quite a few evolutions. Take a look at 100% Umbreon, and I've used it. Having Psychic on it is going to be its alternative move, aside from the Last Resort that all of them had. And having Psychic could be pretty decent. I mean, you take a lot of things by surprise, right? But having both Psychic and Dark can leave you in a pretty bad jam when you're going up against, say, another Dark-type Pokemon. So then you're going to be pretty screwed. But if you do have Fighting, or you're going up against a Fighting-type Pokemon, having Psychic, especially like a Toxicroak, say goodnight, sleep tight, baby, because you're going to be able to destroy. But yeah, what's my favorite Eevee evolution? That's going to be Flareon. You gosh dang right. You know what's funny, too? I was able to get my first 100% IV when this game first came out. My first 100 is going to be an Eevee. I evolved it, and I didn't use the name trick. I think I just evolved it, and it went into Flareon, and I've had it ever since. And son of a gun's been with me since 2016, so we're good to go. But there you have it, folks. I just wanted to give you the rundown, taking a look at my stuff here, a little bit of a prediction as to what we may get in the future. So just hold on to those Eevee candies. Nothing is really particularly something you need. If anything, the only one you're going to really want to max out here is going to be Sylveon. That's pretty much it, right? Because it is going to be a pretty decent fairy type attacker. Aside from that, you may want to max out an Umbreon for Ultra League, but you're not going to need XL candies for anything else. Jolteon's not a great electric type attacker for rating or for even PvP. That's just stuff you see when you go into the beginning of Go Battle League in the beginning of the season and the people are just throwing in random crap. When it comes to Vaporeon, that one is the OG gym defender. I mean, one of the OG gym defenders. If you wanted to max one out, you have 100, throw it in the gym. It's going to be a pretty annoying thing for the opponent to take out. Probably going to want last resort on it because everything else is just going to be stinking water moves, which is really dumb. They need to give it a little bit more coverage, and then it'll be a lot better. But aside from that, there's really nothing you need to worry about. Nothing crazy. You know, if you're a newer player and you need a little bit more of an oomph for particular types, I suppose Espeon could be a pretty decent Psychic type attacker until you start building up your inventory for Pokemon and Psychic types. Then you're just going to toss it aside. Maybe, right? Depends on how new you are. But there you have it, folks. Just wanted to give you that food for thought. I don't like to just bring you to the news. I like to bring you the news, but I want to give you a little bit more input beyond what everybody else is saying, right? So there you have it. Maybe we might get some more in the future. I'm definitely not saying for this community day. That's like a -10 of how I think, no, not happening. But in the future, we might see something. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you can give this video a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. And I'll catch you all next time. Take care.
I finally did it. I'm the champion of the Pokemon League. Hurry up and come. Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!